Okay, so hey guys, and today we're back with the movie review, and this time it is finally Avengers Endgame, which is the culmination of 11 years and 21 movies of the MCU. It is truly a masterpiece of a movie and feels very satisfying, and also it's excellent despite its long runtime. Anyways, let's begin. Okay, so in the beginning of the movie, we see Hawkeye's family getting disintegrated and Hawkeye getting confused and all. And then we go back to Tony Stark and Nebula. This is where the interesting part starts. It is really sad to see Iron Man just giving up all his hope and thinking that he won't survive. So sad, in fact, that even Nebula, the Blue Meanie as called by Iron Man, started crying. I was truly surprised when Captain Marvel rescued Iron Man because I thought rescue would do it. Still, it was a pretty nice scene when she rescued him and then the Avengers just discussed where to find Thanos and they eventually come to the conclusion that he is in the garden, which is a pretty nice name. We then see the humble farmer Thanos, who I'm not a big fan of because I do like Thanos feeling humane and not feeling like a big grinning menace, but I don't want him to see him like this, like a farmer. Anyways, he reveals to the Avengers that he has destroyed the stones with the help of the stones somehow, I guess. I wish he explained how he did that since that seemed pretty interesting. But before he could do that, Thor went for the head and finished Thanos. Okay, so let's just talk about the events that happen after the time skip before we start discussing about the Avengers time heist. I really loved the reveal of Professor Hulk here, but that wasn't that much of a surprise since the concept art for Endgame hinted at Professor Hulk anyways. It is pretty weird to see Hulk like this though. In the meantime, Ant-Man has returned from the quantum realm and is really confused to see the world after the decimation, just like he should be, and is very worried for his daughter, who turns out to be safe. So he goes to the Avengers headquarters with an offer to restore everything with the help of the quantum realm, and the Avengers ask Iron Man to build a time machine, but he refuses since he has the fear of messing with time and as a result losing his daughter. Now he does look a little bit selfish in this scene, but we later find out that he in fact is working on a better time machine or something, and so sometime later he himself goes to the Avengers with the improved time machine and also Captain America's old shield, which he deserves, and then they get ready for the mission to undo the decimation. Okay, so now let's talk about what I'm going to call Team New York, which includes Hulk, Captain America, Ant-Man, and Iron Man. They have to retrieve the space, mind, and time stone. So this team is given with the biggest responsibility because they have to get the most amount of stones. Now it is easy for Hulk to get the time stone from the ancient one since all it took for her to give it to him is just him telling that Doctor Strange gave it to Thanos. The Mind Stone was a little harder to get, and also the boss fight Captain America had to face to get the the Mind Stone was Captain America himself, but his past version. It was pretty surprising how 2012's Captain America overpowered the present one many times in the fight. Maybe it was just because the present one is a broken down version of him. Anyways, at the end, the present one finally wins, thanks to the Loki scepter, and he gets in a lift which has many Hydra agents, and just when you're expecting a better version of the elevator scene from Winter Soldier, Captain America says Hail Hydra and fools the agents and gets away. It was also a nice reference to one of the comics probably. So now the time and mind stone are with the Avengers, but the space stone is the one that causes more trouble for them. The plan gets interrupted because of Hulk's past version, who was angry for using the stairs and not the elevator, and also because of Loki sneakily picking it up and teleporting with it. So now they have to go back even further to the 1970s, and it was surprisingly pretty easy for Iron Man to get the space stone here. I also liked the scene where he talked with Howard as Howard. Pretty heartwarming and funny scene. Okay, so now let's talk about Team Space, which consists of the rest of the Avengers and has the mission of collecting the rest of the stones. Now they are divided into separate groups, and each group has to collect one stone each to make things easier. Rocket and Thor have to get the reality stone, and they easily get it, making it the least memorable mission of this movie. I will have to admit though that Mjolnir's return here was awesome. Hawkeye and Black Widow have to get the Soul Stone, and you know what that means. One of them have to die. The question is who? I personally thought it would be Hawkeye since he lost his family, so he basically lost his everything, and so I thought he would be the one to sacrifice himself, but no, it was Black Widow. It was at this moment that this movie started turning into an emotional roller coaster. Back in Morag, Nebula and War Machine steal the Power Stone before the others get to it. But here is where things get messy. Present Nebula gets captured by Thanos, and he sends past Nebula to the Avengers headquarters so that she can send him and his army there. And this is when the movie just turns super exciting and super good. However, before Thanos gets there, Bruce finally snaps the new Iron Gauntlet himself to undo the snap and brings everyone back. Thank God they stopped arguing over who would do it and just gave it to Banner quickly before Thanos could arrive. Okay, so now Thanos and his ship has reached and decimated the Avengers headquarters with the laser beams blasting out of his ship. Everything is a mess and the sky has turned dark because of all the smoke coming out of the headquarters. Thanos just sits and waits and orders Nebula to get the gauntlet. Past Thanos really doesn't like to do stuff himself. The original MCU trio finds Thanos and prepare to fight him, and that is when Thanos thanks the Avengers for whatever they did until now in Endgame, since now Thanos knows that they would time travel back to restore everything if he let them live, and so now Thanos reveals that he will finish everything and then create a new universe. So this time it is either win for the Avengers or an even worse loss than before. The stakes are really high now, and the original trio finally engage in a battle with the Mad Titan. And now we just get so many great scenes. Thor using both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir was awesome, and Thanos and Iron Man's rematch was great too. But the best moment has to be Captain America saving Thor with Mjolnir. Thor knew that Captain America was worthy. There's even one scene where Captain America even picks up Stormbreaker. This was just so great and turned even greater when, in a surprising turn of events, all of the remaining decimated Avengers joined the fight. Yeah, thousands of portals opened up and all the Avengers came out of it. Now it's all of Thanos' army versus all the Avengers. The Avengers finally assemble. Okay, so now the war has turned even better with all the Avengers joining in and making it a truly satisfying culmination of the 11 years and 21 movies of the MCU. It is just so good seeing everyone return. Everyone, including Black Panther and his army, Doctor Strange, Spider Man, and literally everyone, even the Asgardians. Meanwhile, Hawkeye gives the Infinity Gauntlet to past Nebula by mistake, and when he realizes it's not too late, since Gamora and present Nebula quickly come to the rescue, and when they are unable to redeem past Nebula, and just when you think she's going to wear the gauntlet, just like in the comics, present Nebula shoots her. Now I don't really know if she dies or not because she survived an explosion from Drax's gun in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways, the war continued with Captain Marvel also joining it. Hawkeye had the gauntlet till now, but he passed it over to Black Panther just so it could be in safer hands. And Black Panther did seem to protect it pretty easily with the help of those purple blasts coming out of suit. It was like he was spamming that same purple blast move to protect the gauntlet, but that doesn't work in front of Thanos, and so he snatches it away from him. He's about to snap when Captain Marvel tries to stop him, but Thanos is cleverer than her and blasts her away with the Power Stone. Iron Man tries to stop him, but he easily throws Iron Man away and snaps. Yeah, he actually snaps again. I was devastated when he gave his like second snap. I was on the edge of my seat, but then it is revealed that the gauntlet doesn't have any stones at all, since Iron Man has got them all in his Iron Gauntlet. Thanos may be cleverer than Captain Marvel, but Tony Stark is still cleverer than Thanos. Iron Man finally ended the Infinity Gauntlet saga with the same words that started it. I am Iron Man. And this time decimated Thanos and his army. Like, that was so good. And it was very satisfying to see Thanos getting decimated. Very, very satisfying. The ending is truly heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time, with Tony Stark dying in front of Peter Parker and Captain America living the life he wanted to live. Rating 10 out of 10. Best moment, I am Iron Man. So yeah guys, that was it for the review, and this is truly the best MCU movie for me, and also one of my favorite movies ever. Like, this movie was better than some of those Pixar masterpieces for me, and that's really saying something. And also I want to say that the I am Iron Man scene in this movie was not only my favorite moment of this movie, but also the most marvelous scene for me in the entire MCU. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and say goodbye.